Everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Beth, has this meeting been published according to the Open Public Meeting Act?
Yes, Chairman, it has.
Can I have a roll call of commissioners, please?
Mr. Davis,
Here.
Mr. DeWise, Ms. Duffy, Ms. Fisher, Mr. Grillo, Councilwoman Roberts, Mr. Parikh, Mr. Scott,
Here.
Chairman Zabrowski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
We have the minutes from the October 10th, 2024 meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review? Are there any requested modifications or changes to the minutes? If not, I would ask for a motion. Go
Can
ahead.
I ask one favor in the minutes? There were two acronyms I had to look up. If you use an acronym for the first time, can you just expand it?
Sure.
The two examples though were ATM and SAM, which replaces the DUNS, and ETA, Educational Training Assistance.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Motion to approve.
I make a motion.
Any a second? Roll call.
Mr. Davis? I'm sorry, you abstained. We have Ms. Duffy? Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Chairman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
We have our attorney's report this evening.
Thank you, Chairman. We have a small presentation this evening from the Hercules redevelopment area folks. You may recall over the past few months, we've had discussions about the impossibility of building the Blue Road, the Hartle Road bypass because of environmental issues and difficulties with Conrail and the Conrail crossing. So there's a second proposed road, which they will talk about today. But in order to be able to continue developing the site, there needs to be an amendment to the redevelopment plan because the redevelopment plan says you have to use the Blue Road. So what we're seeking to do with the resolution tonight is say, instead of the Blue Road, you can use the Red Road. And then we'll talk about the Red Road tonight. And that gets the trucks out onto Journey Mill. That's all, Chairman. We have some folks to present, Andrew.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to step down.
As discussed. Yep.
as
Appreciate it.
discussed. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good evening. My name is Andy Moran. I'm an attorney at Fay, Biddle and Reed.
Thank you.
Sorry. Good evening. Andy Noran, Fagery Drinker Biddle and Reith. I represent TCNE Metro Development, Inc. That's an affiliate of the Trammell Crow Company. They are the contract purchaser of Section 3 within the Hercules redevelopment plan. As Mr. Baker indicated, we're here this evening because we're seeking an amendment to the redevelopment plan. As alluded to, the existing plan requires the construction of a road as a condition of warehouse use within Section 3. That's the Hartle Street connector, referred to as the Blue Road. Trammell Crow has spent considerable time and effort and money trying to investigate the viability of that road and has come to the conclusion, unfortunately, that it is not feasible to construct that road. And therefore, we're seeking to eliminate that road and replace it with the Red Road as a condition of construction of warehouse in Section 3. We have our engineer, our project engineer, Kevin Webb from Langen. And unless anybody has any questions for me, he can provide you a little bit more detail on the plans and why the Blue Road is no longer feasible.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. So again, Kevin Webb, I'm an engineer with Langen, and we've been working on behalf of Trammell Crow. We prepared the engineering for Section 1 as well. And actually, the issue of the Blue Road was something that was attached to the Section 1 development. And at that time, it was actually part of Section 1. What's shown here, the first exhibit, is the map that was created for the Section 1 amendment. There were some slight boundary changes and section changes that happened as a precursor to the development of Section 1. So that's essentially as the redevelopment plan sits today. And it shows, it's a little hard for you to see, I'll point to it. This area here, the westernmost edge of the connecting road between what is Cheesequake Road, which is the boundary on the right side, and to the left, which is the Conrail right-of-way, and farther to the left is Hartle Street. So that blue road was meant to connect to the existing Hartle Street. In fact, the borough has right-of-way that's even beyond the cul-de-sac that's the end of Hartle Street, anticipating the receiving that roadway in the future. It's certainly the stated goal, clearly stated in the redevelopment plan, to try to get traffic from Section 3 warehouse uses that may be proposed there to Journey Mill. And that was seen as the most direct connection. As part of that, we had prepared design plans for the roadway. We were going through, and actually with the borough's consent, we're ready to submit an application to NJDEP for a freshwater wetlands individual permit, for which actually the borough would be the applicant. We had to get Conrail's consent because they are a property owner over which the roadway would traverse. And we had ongoing conversations with Conrail. We were working to try to find a way to get their support for that crossing. Ultimately, the crossing that's proposed, which is very near, and so I'm going to point to the map again. This is the Gillespie Glide, so to speak. That's where the railroad track actually has a split between the main line and this north-south line. Conrail's determination was that where the blue road would cross Conrail's line was too close to that Y for safe and efficient operations, both of the railway and, in their opinion, the roadway. There's a switch there for the track itself that they deem as too close. Our roadway would encroach too close to that. It puts their operators in jeopardy to operate the switch, which is manually operated. They also felt there was insufficient sight distance for their trains to actually slow if, in fact, there was a vehicle stopped on the tracks. We set forth some parameters with them about how the road might be able to be shifted, and ultimately there was not a place that would satisfy their separation requirements, which didn't greatly worsen the environmental impacts to wetlands and flood hazard area that we thought DEP could support, and furthermore was in a property that could be controlled. It was certainly outside of the Hercules redevelopment area and would require, albeit Trammell Crow tried, to secure rights to other properties. Some of the alternatives included looking at even some of those adjacent properties like the Red Oak Power Plant and finding a route there. One of Conrail's concerns was they really don't want any new public roadway crossings of their rail anywhere. And the blue road as shown would constitute a new crossing. Both DOT and Conrail expressed concern. I would say that they disfavored that clearly to us. It doesn't mean it was impossible, but DOT went even so far as to say that, I would say didn't threaten, that's too strong a word, but they suggested that the borough may actually have to delete an existing public roadway crossing somewhere else within the borough to add that one, which is a little silly. But in any case, cumulatively, all those reasons, it was a bunch of no's across the board, that the blue road in that location and even in a proximate location was going to be infeasible. So as a result, we have what I'll show the second exhibit. So I'm going to test your eyes to see how it's doing. The blue road has been deleted.
Everybody has a copy of this.
Everybody has a copy of that. So the blue road has been deleted, and the green road, which is part of Section 3 within what we'll call the development area, would just terminate at a cul-de-sac. And ultimately, the warehouses, and again, this is specific to warehouse uses in the Section 3, would be availing themselves of a connection to Journey Mill Road using the red road that was originally contemplated to be developed as part of Section 2. So it was always a part of the plan. It will continue to be part of the plan. It will continue to support Section 2 whenever that redevelopment occurs. It's just as essentially we'll be doing service to Section 3 as well. And it's really no change to the plan except to delete the blue road, which again, as we determined, was infeasible based off of the assessment from Conrail.
Bottom line is we have we have gone through multiple meetings with the developers and looking at it. We need a road there. We need that bypass, and absolutely we need that bypass. And since we have no cooperation on a multiple level with all other attempts, this road seems to be a feasible. It actually takes traffic all the way to Bordentown, Journey Mill Road near. So it's probably a positive move to get done. In fact, we had a second meeting about it and a discussion with the developers, and there is some language concern that we have negotiated now. And I think what we are recommending is something that our engineer is in agreement with it. Our attorney is in agreement with it. I think it makes sense. And it's actually a longer route for the trucks and everybody, but it's in some way positive because it's gonna come to the end of the Journey Mill and Journey Mill and Bordentown Avenue, I'm sorry. Journey Mill and Bordentown corner, which then trucks can take shorter distance to go to 18 or Turnpike or go to others, Bordentown Avenue to Route 9 using the Perrine Road way. So it should work in our favor in the long run. But we had to make these changes and recommend that to the council to make those changes. So, if anybody has any questions, or our.
Well, before you do, Justin, is there any comments
Okay.
that you want to make from the engineering standpoint?
I just like to confirm what Himanshu said, how we've been involved with Trammell Crow this entire process, and they have exhausted all means for the Blue Road. And we do agree that this red road is the best option.
That doesn't mean that there's not encumbrances on the Red Road as well. It just means that there's less encumbrances and there's more opportunity for this to be successful in to completion, correct?
Exactly. There is still DEP concern, wetland concerns, but this is our best course going forward.
And
And
there's
my
one
question
more
is,
thing, Commissioner. When this road builds, there are additional property nearby will have an access. Eventually, this road had to be built. So now, other properties that may have an opportunity to come in front of us for a project. So that's an added benefit.
So my question is that this is all, and I just clarification on the record, I think it's in our resolution that the Red Road is now anticipated to be completed before any other construction can occur, when previously we were anticipating the Blue Road and then the Red Road later, right? So now the Red Road has to happen first before anything else.
Donna, it's before they can get a certificate of occupancy. So it'll be built concurrently with the project that they're building, but they can't open the doors unless the road goes through and is connected.
They'll be working on getting all the permitting for that road that is necessary. While, I think that's gonna be done long before they actually start even a construction.
So it's kind of like a parallel project.
Yes,
So section 3, which is the next anticipated building lot, is going to be paralleled with the Red Road.
Correct.
And then that means that both section 3 and section 2 will be ready anyway with all the parallel buildings. I wanted that timeline. Thank you.
Gentlemen, any other information you have?
That's it.
Nothing else? Thank you.
Mike, you're good?
I'm good. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Anything else for your attorney's report?
No, sir.
Moving on, engineers report, Justin. Oh, and beforehand, we just collectively as a group, we offer our condolences to David at the loss of his brother, Mike.
Yes, same here. Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the engineering report, the Bass Pro Shop, more good news. I don't know if everyone has seen, but officially above ground steel work has begun. It actually looks like a building. They're working on the framework. Other work around the Riverton site, they have started the foundations for the traffic signals at various intersections, and they are continuing to work on the pump station. That's it. Thank you.
Happened to be coming back yesterday afternoon from being away for a week, and it was nice. I was pretty exhausted from the ride back, and just when I got to the intersection of the Main Street extension, and I'm looking, I'm going, Wow. And it really is a wow after all these years, seeing the steel going up. It's very cool. Any comments or questions for our engineers report? Moving on then, executive director's report.
Chairman, if I may, I am turning over to my able assistant, Zach. He's going to present the report to the.
Thank you, everyone. Number one on the report to go over is a update on the SAMS registration for the FTA grant. SAMS is the System for Award Management and FTA is the Federal Transportation Administration. So the registration for SAMS has been successfully completed as part of the ongoing application for the FTA grant. Again, this grant is going to provide funding to allow us to study an interconnection road between parcels B and C at the Riverton site. As far as we are aware, all of our required documentation, including financial statements and compliance certifications have now been submitted. We're currently awaiting their review and the subsequent processing of our application. We anticipate receiving updates from the FTA in the coming months, and we'll keep you informed of any progress. A Riverton project update, as Justin had stated, significant progress is continuing at the Riverton site. Bass Pro Shop is advancing on schedule. Foundation work is ongoing and the vertical construction has begun, which is exciting. Additionally, Chick-fil-A and Quick Check are expected to submit permit applications to the borough in the near future. This marks an important step forward as these developments are key components of the overall project, contributing to the site's retail mix and customer draw. Himanshu had circulated a photo earlier showing the structural steel going up to all the commissioners if you had a chance to see that. Number three, which we just kind of went over with the presentation we had, the Arsenal Hercules project update. Tonight, there is a resolution recommending to the Borough Council amendments to the Hercules redevelopment plan. The amendments focus on designating the red roadway route as the connection between Cheesequake Road and Journey Mill. This amendment is a critical element of the overall redevelopment of the site, and it aims to enhance traffic flow and accessibility to the area. The discussions for these amendments, it's involved stakeholders from Hercules, Trammell Crow, and SERA, and they've reached a consensus with these amendments, just to reiterate that. Number four, the Brownfield redevelopment area update. The scheduled meeting to discuss the ongoing initiatives within the Brownfield redevelopment area have been postponed until December because of scheduling conflicts. Despite this delay, everything's been prepared and we're ready to go once we have that meeting in December. The upcoming session is going to be pivotal in finalizing plans for site remediation and redevelopment strategies moving forward. Number five is a GIS system update, which is a geographic information system. SERA has requested CME do an update to the borough's GIS system to include additional data layers and some additional information. To facilitate ongoing access and utilization of this upgraded system, SERA will be acquiring 3 user licenses. This investment will allow key team members to fully leverage the GIS capabilities for project analysis and decision-making.
Can you expand on that a little bit, Zach? Because that's a very important upgrade for SERA.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I can expand a little bit and then maybe Justin can go over it in depth. We had requested all borough and SERA-owned property be added in as additional layers so we can easily identify what SERA has in their possession and control and what the borough has in their possession and control when speaking to developers about it. Justin, if you want to elaborate.
before Dustin, when I came in here, found out we didn't have any GIS in place. And then Glenn alerted me that CME is working on developing one. And since then, we had a meetings, because it's important for us to see a map of township-owned property, SERA-owned property, because all this question comes up, then we have to go on paper map and look for it. And I said, I want this GIS system, all the layers up there. And I also want the layers of all the already approved redevelopment area. Because there are redevelopment area and then, discussion comes up, oh no, it ends, we don't have the next one. So right now, we're going through a 3 new redevelopment area development process. They're all gonna be a layer that we can just click on it and, project on our map saying, okay, this is where we have a redevelopment area, each one of those. So that's why this is a critical. They told us we need, SERA needs a license, so I have authorized to purchase those licenses.
Yeah, Zach and Himanshu covered it. Essentially, what our office is doing is creating layers where you'll be able to see SERA-owned property. You select that layer, and then those will be highlighted, borough-owned properties, and then eventually you'll be able to see the redevelopment areas. So that's ongoing, but we're getting close to having that completed.
Thank you, Justin. Number 6 is going to be the area in need of redevelopment update. The recommendations for the Sunshine Biscuit site to be studied as a possible area in need of redevelopment by the planning board, as approved by the SERA commissioners, has been finalized and is set to be presented to the planning board at their first meeting in January. Additionally, on tonight's agenda is a resolution to amend the previous recommendation to the planning board that the mini mall area located at Route 9 and Ernston Road be studied as a possible area in need of redevelopment, to include 3 parcels across the street, across from Ernston Road. This adjustment will support our strategic development initiative aimed at revitalizing key sections of the borough.
Commissioner, Chairman, just want to alert, Rena is on our Zoom call. She couldn't be here because of her health condition, but she's on a Zoom call if there's anybody has any question. And the second thing I was going to cover in the new business, but I want to alert the Commissioner that, and I have spoken about this before, that SERA, we need to start putting our information out there. We're the last one telling people what's happening. The Riverton project building that's going on, that's been long criticized. If you go on Washington Road, there is a garage being built. There's a sign. I will be open before the Bass Pro. I think that, I think one of the disadvantage we have is that we haven't been doing any kind of public relations, marketing of SERA. We need to market not just within a borough, but throughout the state. And in the early day, I think meetings, I have mentioned that I'm going to be looking into that. Now that we have a lot of things organized, I just want to alert you that I will be posting a request for quotes for the, some kind of a service or, public relations, marketing service in a short time, and subject to, within a reasonable price, within the budget, we'll be awarding a contract to start working on getting help to start properly marketing SERA and what it is and, the good things that we're accomplishing.
Yeah, I'll just follow that up with, I think this is long needed, and I know Paula brought up the question of because we're revising our website, but who's really going to be manning that and making it professional and doing the right things? And I would say that would also be part and parcel of the responsibilities. We're really looking for the opportunity to be proactive with the activities that SERA conducts throughout its monthly meetings, but also, as Himanshu said, is to be able to promote the borough itself. Borough does not currently have anyone that does that job. And in order to be able to enhance the opportunities to bring in developers and bring in those that want to be creative with SERA, with SERVL, in order for us to, balance the tax basis, but also to bring in good development where SERVL is not a pass-through, but a destination, we have to market properly. And I don't think anyone I don't think the request is, off base in pricing, because I think we're looking to be do it in a moderate way, but it is definitely a necessity, I think, at this day and age. And SERVL actually is behind the queue, I would say, because they don't have anybody to do this.
When I saw that Riverton project and steel start construction, there were people posting on our SERVL community and others not us. We didn't inform public. That's our job. We need to inform public. So we need to create a proper content, proper way of reporting, so there's no misinformation going out.
And that would be through request?
Yes, it's not a considered, and Mike can explain, it's not a professional service, it's just general doing.
Soliciting bids.
But- right.
It's some soliciting quotes. It's under the bid threshold.
Now, before I close the executive director's report, is there any questions from any of the commissioners on that issue or any of the other issues that Zach discussed this evening? Okay, moving on. We have 2025 budget introduction, and our CFO Wayne Gradowski is here to give us some information related to moving forward to do that.
At the meeting back in September, I had distributed detail on the budget. The budget that you received is the official document that's required by the state of New Jersey. It could be difficult reading, but it contains all the same information I had distributed at the September meeting. If anybody has any questions about it, there'll be a public hearing on December 12th at the next meeting, and adoption if everyone agrees with it. I'm open to any questions that anyone would have now or any procedures required for adoption of the budget.
Just to addition, Chairman, while we are, this is considered late still, although we are not late like we used to be in the past, but this is still considered late because we are we're 2 weeks late. We're supposed to adopt it by the end of November. This is gonna take us into December to adopt, and the state requires a resolution. And I think everybody knows that we needed to make some decisions that got delayed in introduction of the budget. So there is a resolution for that in your resolution list.
Again, I open up to commissioners for questions and comments to Wayne.
Question about the budget?
Sure.
Can I ask that now?
Absolutely.
You have Zach down here for benefits. What about benefits from the borough, from that position? Are we taking care of all of?
The benefits that's noted in a budget are for basically statutory required ones. There's no health insurance, but there's Social Security, there's unemployment, the SERA share for the unemployment and disability insurance of the employees. And still there'll be a past bills for previous year's pension for the employee that was covered by the pension system. The annual assessment to the municipalities and the agencies is about 2 years behind. So we're up to date on the payments, but we're up to date through 2022 pension assessment. We'll get a bill at the end of this year that has to be paid by April of 25. That will actually be for the liability for 2023. And I mean, that's just the way it works, so.
Oh, that's Joe's residual.
That's on his name, that one, 6,900 or something, is on a line with his name. Under Zach's name.
There is no Zach's name.
No?
What was the
No,
amount?
in a budget document, it listed the individual amounts for each position. I think that's what you're referring to.
Name on 25,000, and then the amount of 6,900.
That's the pension, Medicare, the SERA share of the pension and Medicare Social Security and Medicare, okay, and any related pension, if there is. It's not a direct payment to the individual listed there. It's what's the SERA has to, their share of the taxes, to put it, the Social Security tax and the unemployment taxes. Yeah, there's no health insurance involved or anything like that. It's no, and there's no direct payment.
So if they pay health benefits,
No,
be listed differently or would be lumped in with that money for social?
no. Health benefits is actually a separate page in that budget document that was distributed with the agenda. So there is no health benefits, payment for health benefits, at least not yet anyway, if it may be in a maybe in a future.
And there's 7. Administrative services shared with the borough, $38,000. What is that for? Page 52 on our thing and then 10-7 on budget.
I may be mistaken, but I believe that was the pilot attorney, the attorney that's doing the pilot for both the SERA and council,
The financial consultant.
financial consultant. Is that true?
I'm thinking it's probably the amount that's budgeted from SERA in order to have both Denise and Beth here for their assistance throughout the year. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
It's 38,000.
Oh, shared service. It is shared services. Yeah.
Right, so that's my assumption.
Administrative, for those two? The secretarial, not administrative?
This is the shared service agreement with the borough. This is for reimbursement.
For Denise and for Debbie. And is Zach separately is also in the set.
Yeah, Zach would also be.
Right.
Yeah. This is pursuant to the shared service agreement between the borough and SERA. That was the whole purpose of the shared service agreement, because they're also they're also employees of the borough of Saraville. Part of their salary is paid by the borough of Saraville. Part of it is from SERA. Now, the SERA portion, we have to reimburse the borough of Saraville. There's one paycheck, a salary check coming from the borough of Saraville. But we have to reimburse the borough for our share, SERA's share. So that's what this figure is, okay?
So we're-
Yes,
He's 25,000. It's 30 total.
Yeah.
So then it's only, do the math for Beth and.
Right.
12,000 or something like that.
yes,
That's what we're paying them,
yes.
12,000.
Our share of their salary.
I can't argue with that right now, but I'm gonna have to maybe look in some minutes or something, because I do believe that figures were a little bit different when we hired on for ladies. Correct?
I mean, we can verify all those numbers and we'll report that to you. We'll get that email out to you, detailed.
I don't think we're paying them $6,000 each.
No, no.
That 38,000 is for something, not specifically.
I think that, I mean, if I was to guess, and rather than me guessing, let us get you the information before the,
Yeah.
adoption.
That's fine, thank you.
Any other questions? Don? Ken? Any questions on, Bob, anybody on the budget? Wayne, do we have to, besides the report, do we have to accept anything to this tonight or anything?
Well, it's under
We'll vote on it.
resolution.
We'll vote on it later.
This is an introduction.
Okay.
This is an
We'll vote on
introduction
that.
of the budget, not an
Okay.
adoption.
Okay.
Adoption is gonna be after the public hearing in December.
So moving on to authorization for payment of bills, total amount 27,930.43, which is operating, which is 22,959.43 in escrow, 4,971 in total. Any questions before I get a motion to accept? If not, can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Duffy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts? Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Chairman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
Number 11, we have a series of resolutions this evening. Oh, if you guys do not have to stick around unless there's a reason.
Oh, yeah.
If you feel you'd like to stay, you're more than welcome
Oh, It's an
to.
entertaining.
I'll send you an email, if it doesn't get approved.
Well, I think they were waiting for the resolution to pass, so.
Okay. Well, we're on the resolution, so, okay. So we have resolution 2024-1137, which is a resolution of the SERA amending a certain 2024-1032 resolution adopted on October 10, 24, requesting the council refer to the planning board various properties within the borough for the study as areas in need of redevelopment. This is in fact the area off of Route 9 by the mini mall that we previously discussed.
Correct, Chairman, and as Zach said, it's just adding 3 lots on the other side of the street. Okay.
What are the 3 lots on the other side of the street? What's there now?
Unless Vina or Vina, can you?
Yeah, yeah, it's a strip mall that is in the same vicinity of the storage facility. So those are the 3 lots, and I think it's important to include those lots because I've said before, I am working on the other side of Ernston Road on behalf of Old Bridge for a transit village designation. So this, including these lots, will immensely help us because I'm trying to see if we can extend the transit village area into Sayreville. So those are the 3 lots, and there's one correction. We are also eliminating 1 lot which was previously included, which is sandwiched between the commercial properties on the north side of Ernston Road and between the single family homes, which is currently vacant. So we're leaving that out of the study area for now.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions on resolution 24-1137? Can I have a motion to
I make a motion to accept.
give a second? Second. Roll call?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Duffy? Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
No.
Chairman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
24-1138, SERA resolution authorizing of the reason for the delay in the submission of the 2025 budget, which was just discussed. Are there any other questions or comments related to this resolution? If not, can I take a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Duffy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Chairman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
2024-1139, introduction of the 2025 authority budget resolution. Questions or comments?
Just a question. For this is what we just discussed, the budget that's in there. I just want to be clear because I think our resolutions only get 1 round. This one is not good. We're going to introduce 1139 today, but it will be finalized in January? In December. So this is the first reading. There will be another opportunity so that Mrs. Duffy's questions can be answered. I just want to be clear. But the other resolutions are completed tonight. Okay, that's a distinction I really needed, so thank you. Then I make a motion to approve.
Roll call?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Duffy?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Chairman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
Final resolution, 2024-1141, resolution recommending amendments to the Hercules redevelopment plan, changing required access to Journey Mill Road from the blue roadway route to the red
Chairman,
roadway.
there's
Red.
one before
Did I
that.
miss one? Oh, the procurement, I'm sorry. 2024-1140, resolution of the SERA adopting a procurement policy. I know that Himanshu spoke about this before. This is in order for us to be, to ensure that from a transparency perspective, that we are in fact following appropriate procurement policy.
And it's a requirement of
No,
the
grant.
federal transportation grant that we adopt a policy.
Questions or comments? If not, a motion. Second,
Second?
roll call.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Duffy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Chairman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, 24-1141, resolution recommending amendments to the Hercules redevelopment plan, which is required access to Journey Mill Road from the blue roadway route to the red roadway route. Make a motion? Anybody?
A motion to approve?
Second?
Roll call.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Duffy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Mr. Scott? Chairman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Great.
All good?
Mhm.
Commissioners' comments. Before I open that to the rest of the commissioners, I do have one comment, and actually I'm going to ask for some assistance as well. We've, over the last couple of months, we've been discussing the Main Street downtown area for discussion of what can and can't be done or where we can move to kind of improve what it looks like down there. I did have a couple of calls from business owners who had not been available when the original survey went out. And they had some good questions. And I think part of what Himanshu was talking about is of having someone that can kind of lead discussion and get it out there in a digital format, I think would be helpful with that. Because some of the questions simply were is, hey, what were we trying to do? Because they didn't have the opportunity to hear about the survey until afterwards. But I will say those that spoke about it were very supportive of that and said, hey, listen, there is a need for, they're looking for assistance down in the downtown area, those business owners. And with that in mind is there are some things that SERA can do and some things that we still have work to be done. But in the two discussions that we've had, one of which was reducing the speed limit to 25, David indicated that one of the things that was necessary would be a request from our Traffic Safety Bureau in order to move that discussion forward. So I'm going to ask if Himanshu, Zach, and Justin, if you can reach out to Chief Plumacher and get that discussion working so that David can continue to engage the county with doing that. Whether anything is ever done down in the downtown area, I don't know, but I can say from a safety standpoint, reducing the speed limit from 35 and 30 in the two sections of Main Street to 25 would certainly be of assistance just from that perspective. So I think that's a good thing. The second thing I'd ask is, Donna, I don't know if you're associated with, as your liaisons for the Borough Council for Shade Tree Commission or not, are you?
I do not think that falls under me.
Okay.
But I'll double check.
Even though it doesn't, if you could reach out to the Shade Tree for further discussion with their assistance on whatever grant programs they may have for the production of upgrading the plantings that are currently, well, don't really exist down in the downtown area. And maybe they can add that to their plans and see what is available. But I do know under environmental, you do have Elise Barone. Part of what she does is obviously our recycling, and there are no receptacles down in the downtown area. And perhaps you can engage her in conversation to see what can be done with that.
I think with the shade tree, it's just always conflicted with something. So if it's under me, it's one that I have not had a lot, so.
And
Chairman, if I may add to that, I think, maybe I think one of the recommendation that consultant made, but made sense for the downtown area with his narrow, rather than planting trees, maybe a planters that has some decorative planters be placed in appropriate place. And I'm going to be working with the business administrator to come up with the idea, different things to do. But one of the things that we discussed that I want everyone to see, I don't think that there was any plan to do anything until we get the consensus of all the businesses. And one of the things we're gonna do this year, coming up 2025, is, reach out. We're gonna be doing some outreaching to all the businesses in downtown area, and particularly meeting with them, taking second round of their suggestions of what they would like to see happen, and explain the process. Because ultimately, if SERA has to deeply get involved, there are steps that we need, according to our attorney. He wouldn't allow me to just go ahead and do something. So there are steps to be taken, and I want to make sure that we do it in a communication and assuring them that there is no other, our goal is to improve business in downtown. And that's the idea. So that's what we're planning to do. Zach and I talked about it. We're going to be sending out letters, reaching out to set up scheduled meetings. And then, and again, as chairman indicated, that's where the help of our public relation person or somebody putting together, package of informations very quickly to go out would be, is a way to go about. This isn't about we're taking away anything from anybody in the downtown area. They do have,
Jaffe Communications.
yeah, there is a communication consulting firm that they have it. I don't know if we're there yet to use large consulting firm. We may be. If we want to, they are very helpful when we want to outreach businesses, other businesses to come into the borough. But we're not there yet. But right now, I just want to get started with, like Chairman says, website, content development, social media outreach, community outreach.
The borough doesn't have one individual that handles.
No, I don't think they have an employee handles any of those things.
I think the two things is, number one, we need to make sure we retain the people that are there. We can't lose it. Then we got to come up with some way to attract new businesses. Now, I do know since our last meeting, there is a new business that opened across from the barber shop, which seemed to be like a flea market type of, like an individual market people would sell their goods there. Well, that's what we want, but it's somebody that moved in. So whether it's, I don't know if we want to hire a firm, I think that would be waste. We got to figure out some outreach to bring in new business, even if it means possibly building a new office building and maybe attract commercial type doctors, lawyers, professional people. That may be a way too.
Its first step is to get, I think there was some scared, got into the communication that, again, we haven't done our own communication, and people assume things when you don't have a clarity in your message. And there was a scare put out saying, oh, we're taking away business. There is no intent of that. I think what we did and what you, Commissioner, did is when we authorized a study, I think it stimulates conversation. Unfortunately, some people use that and convert it into something different. But I think that once we do outreach, we meet with them, explain to them, and we'll have our own message out there, I think things will change. We do need that downtown. We really need our own downtown. That's a presence. That's a name out there. People talk about it. Oh, I went to this downtown. That's what we want.
But you want the right people. There are certain areas you might want to look, I don't want to mention towns, but there's certain towns you might want to emulate. And there's certain towns you don't want to emulate.
Yeah. You got to get a best of things.
You know what I'm talking about.
Any other comments from our commissioners this evening? Moving on, can I have a motion to open to the public?
Make that motion or
Can I get a second to open the public portion?
Second.
Roll call.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Anybody from the public would like to speak? Anybody from the public that would like to speak? Anybody from the public last time? Can I get a motion to close public portion?
Close the public.
Second? All in favor? Last on that, we have do we have anything for executive session?
No,
No,
sir.
I think, yeah, we have no, there is no contract negotiation or
Yeah, we're
anything.
good.
like that. So we're good.
We always put it as a placeholder just in case.
So what I would also say is if those of you that are coming next week to the League of Municipalities, look forward to seeing each of you at the conferences and the different discussion points that we have. Hopefully, we'll see everybody down there. If not, I also wish you all a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving as well.
Happy Thanksgiving.
See you down there.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Voice vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thanks, you.